Good afternoon, YouTube family. South Texas Prepper here. Today's October the 30th, 2025. Well, guys, it's been a while. I ain't made any videos, but of course, usually when I make them is because, so many things are happening or it just can't be helped. All of y'all know about the EBT issue and people not getting their, I still call them food stamps. But my main concern, guys, the reason I'm here talking to y'all is because my main concern, my main worry is the digital ID. I think that's the big thing that's really gonna affect us the most. Excuse me. And all the other issues that are here, like with all the new neighbors that we got from the south and all the people they let in, the EBT issue, homelessness, whatever, the economy, all these things are in one way or another are tied in or can be tied into the digital ID. It's been coming for a long time. So many people, and I've been talking about these things for many years, and it's here. Those days are here. Excuse me. And so this thing with the about the EBT, that it's not gonna come through in November. It might not come through. I put forth a what if, right? What if they go long enough, right? Like for the people that use the EBT, if they go long enough without them getting their funds, right? I don't think they're gonna starve. I don't think they're gonna, I don't think so. But let's just say that they are. They really depend on the food, and there is people, especially the elderly, people. They depend on that. But let's say everybody, all 42 million or however many it is that are gonna be affected. Let's say that they really need that for food. Then let's say it goes a week or even 2 weeks. People will do anything. They will do anything to eat, right? Of course. They will do anything so that their children are not starving or whatever. They'll commit crimes. They'll go steal. They'll take food from other people. I mean, it's a human, it's a survival. You're gonna go back to the primal brain. You know what I mean? So let's say that happens, and people are starving or people are desperate, and the government or the powers that be, whoever that is, the corporations, they're gonna fall back on the Hegelian dialectic, with something that they always use, which is problem, reaction, solution. They're gonna offer digital ID and say, look, we feel for you, and we want y'all to, we don't want you to starve. So if y'all get this digital ID, y'all can purchase, we're gonna load up your card or whatever, and y'all can use that, to get your funds. I don't know. I'm not sure how that's gonna work. Because EBT, the funds are run through Bank of America. I believe it's Bank of America. One of those big banks are the ones that facilitate. They're the ones that the middleman, and they make a killing, by the way, to give the funds out to people. The cards are through Bank of America. I think Bank of America, or I forget the other one, Chase, one of those, Chase Manhattan. But the digital, let's just say that they will somehow be tied into the funds. And if they accept the digital ID, then they can go ahead and you know, purchase food. Now my thing with this, my only thing is that a lot of these people, I mean, I know a lot of people that they sell, they sell them. They sell their stamps, or not stamps, but so it's not so much that they can't get food, but a lot of people use that to to buy stuff. They sell their stamps and they get money. You know what I mean? So that's why I kind of like, hey man, there's people that work and still get, maybe not a lot, not as much as other people that just don't work. And that's what really pisses me off, is people that don't work. And I don't care who gets mad. I know of course that there is people that can't work. That have a legitimate reason why they can't work, and they get assistance, right? But there's a whole bunch of other people that can, and they're just sitting on their ass at home, playing video games, or whatever, just a drain on society, man. And you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't know everybody's situation, but I'm just speaking to what I do know about, okay? But the big thing is the digital ID, guys. We're seeing, then we're seeing the censorship, right? And this is a shout out to Ketowans from Idaho, from the great state of Idaho. She sent me a story, from the Salt Lake Tribune, talking about how they want to build a facility for homeless people, an involuntary treatment center for homeless people and people with mental illness. And the key word there is involuntary. So I'm gonna post it I'll put it on the description so y'all can look it up. They've created so many crises, right? So many crises that the only way to correct them is to bring in a tyrannical system, which was already kind of here, but like they've just been slipping it in a little at a time, guys. When the criminals make the laws, they're gonna make laws that protect them, and you know what I mean, and make everything else illegal. You know what I'm saying? Like we're literally living under man's law. We got crime that's been legalized, and the things that are lawful, that are under God's law or natural law, that's now, like, through edict, now it's illegal. Everything's fake. We've sent our counterfeit money throughout the world, right? Exported all of the inflation, and the world just got tired. You know what I mean? It was bound to end, and now we got all the inflation coming back, guys. People are not using the dollar. Oil producing nations are not using the petrodollar anymore. They're selling the oil for the yuan, for the Chinese yuan, for gold. That's what got Saddam Hussein and Muammar Gaddafi killed. Not because they were tyrants or whatever. That had nothing to do with it. And it gives you an idea of why they're threatening Venezuela, a sovereign nation, to remove their leader. China was supposed to build, I think they did build an oil platform off the coast of Venezuela, because Venezuela has the biggest oil reserves in the world, even more than Saudi Arabia. Only thing with with Venezuela is that their crude is sour. It's not, they gotta like really refine it. That's the only thing, but still they got a lot of oil. It's not sweet like other countries. But guys, I've spoken to one of my coworkers is from Venezuela, and he tells me he gives me so much insight into that nation, into what's going on over there, and he also tells me what's going on over here. He tells me what's going on here in the United States is very similar to what was happening in Venezuela. And if you think that because you can go to the movies or you can go to the mall, you can go hit up McDonald's or go hit Main Event, or whatever, go to the club, the bar, you think that's freedom, that's that equals freedom, man, you're mistaken. Those are all those are all distractions, to keep you docile, and so that you don't realize all the freedoms that you have lost. And I get it, I understand, we can still travel, we can still move around, but if you look at the infrastructure that's being built, the digital prison that's already here, if you knew, Palantir, Google, Microsoft, they have all our data, guys. They have all of our information. They call data, that's the new oil. That's the new oil boom. It's data. It's our data. The fusion centers, that they have, those are not just for like criminals or criminal database. That's where all of our data is, like, actually, like our dozer, our folder with all of our info is on there. Our browser history, what we like to look up, with all of that, and then with AI, they can predict everything that we're gonna do, pretty much like above 90%, like 97% last I heard. They can predict what we're gonna do on a daily basis, in real time. They know what we're gonna do. So, guys, another thing, this is a prepper channel, and with everything that's going on with the high food prices and with everything going up, there's not a whole lot of money for, like, for funsies, right? It's not a whole lot of money for that. I'm really thankful for the preparations I've made throughout the years, especially the food. And I know a lot of y'all prepare as well. I know a lot of y'all are watching this video, right? I know all of y'all are doing the same thing. So even the profession that I chose, that God guided me into, or that I fell into, whatever, it still provides me with with a good income, and I know, of course, it can end, I could get fired or let go. That's in any field. But I'm very thankful for the choices that I've made, the direction that I went in my life, and of course there's other things that I wish I could do, other things that I'm trying to educate myself on to do better. I was trying to improve myself, mainly for my family. I've lived on this earth. I've lived a good life. I've no regrets, guys. No regrets. But it's all for my family. Everything I do is for my family. Trying to prepare them for the real world. But guys, the preps really help. A lot of people used to look at me like, damn, here comes dad with, my kids, comes dad with more cans or whatever, right? But shit, I look like a genius now, guys. I look like a dang genius. Anyway, guys, just keep on preparing. Like, every day, just buy stuff that is physical, because the money is, like, as you can see, is going down the toilet. If you can invest, buy things that'll make your life better. If you can invest, buy some silver, buy stuff that maybe later you can liquidate, right? You can sell. You know what I mean? When the money's gone or when the money's no good. kind of in a way, I don't really think that's gonna happen. Only because when the dollar's gone, they already got another system. That they got another system that's already waiting, or maybe it's already here. It's like when they changed the dollar in August of 1971. It was still the money was still I was getting a phone call, sorry guys. The dollar still looked the same, take that. The money still looked the same. Everything looked the same, but the system had basically changed. The gold was no longer backing the dollar. So it same thing. Things are still, another system's gonna come, and we probably won't even know it's been done. Just keep preparing, guys, and remember that it's the digital ID. If there's a thing that we should all fight for, a line that we should draw in the sand, it's the digital ID. It's not good at all. If you take the time, look it up, look at how they got us here, you'll see that that's the one thing that really the world should unite against and put a stop to. The AI is like the engine that's driving everything, guys. AI. And I can see all the dots years past. I can see those dots and connect them and see how it led up to where we are now. I've always been kind of good at kind of stepping back and looking at the big picture and looking at all the things, how they relate. But I'm kind of astonished at the speed at which everything kind of like accelerated to where we are now. And it's not done. Like I see it, it's still moving at work. Some of the apps that we gotta use to log on to our computer, log into, check this or that, authenticators, all this stuff. It lets me know what's going on. I can see it and compare it to what I hear. What I hear, what with the digital ID and just all these things, all these different things. They're stepping stones, right? And they're all leading to this digital prison, right? The digital prison will equal a physical prison. It will, because it's just like the digital prison is just like the straw man, guys, like with the ID, same thing. It's just that we've been using a physical ID, whatever, a physical identification. It's still a straw man, but now we're straw man in the digital world. It's just a copy, a corporate entity, right? And I see it. It's just, we're just going into another version, a more modern version. So guys, just keep prepping, because eventually, real is real. The digital world, the digital thing, I mean, I don't know, man. That's the thing that we gotta fight against. But anyway, guys, it was good talking to y'all. To the next video, y'all take care of each other and love each other out there, because that's what we're here for. God bless.